Hello there, Gemini, and welcome to your love forecast with your love, Dr. Melissa Joy. I'm so glad you stopped by. We're taking it, peeking, delving into your love and what's going on. And the interesting thing is, in my meditation, the word that came forward for you is king. And I'm like, king of, king what, kingdom. And you're like, king. And I'm like, okay, leave it to a Gemini to know exactly what they're talking about. But you're also wanting to know, is there more? And so I need to know exactly what you're talking about. So I began to shuffle around in the Moonology deck. Ooh, surrender to the divine. Interesting. Because the cards that came out said you're very close to achieving your goal and expect powerful change. To see and be seen, and they're saying surrender to the divine, I believe, is possibly your goal. Would you know that? Divine love, love that is otherworldly, beyond this world, heavenly, inundating, invigorating, the very thing that is fairy tale and unheard of, but people speak of, almost like it's lore or mythic. Of course, Gemini is going to take us to mythic proportions, and you're saying, Joy, get us some crystal cards first. And talk about cleansing out the love factory, the pink tourmaline. Let's get a bit of love factory cleansing for Gemini here as they are dedicating themselves, consecrating themselves for divine love. Ooh, you got 3. Fuchsite, citrine is the one that breaks the head and makes the way. So it's like you've already sown these seeds. Maybe you've been intentionalizing for a long time, waiting on certain things to come through. It's letting you know that if you begin to feel a bit of a rumble, it's simply the car igniting, the relationship igniting, and this is about to emerge. Tremendous wealth and prosperity, seeing results above and beyond what you ever invested. And that is important to know, because that's what lets you know you've engaged with the divine. When things come together, when you engage with the divine, the sum total is greater than the parts. So that means the relationship, the connection to love, the love connection has something even greater in it than you ever imagined. And Fuchsite, I want to get a little clarification on this, because it's like, you have what it takes. You have what it takes. And it might seem like you don't have everything it takes. It says you have what it takes for you. Okay? And let's be clear calcite about that. It's wanting to cleanse your hearing a bit. Maybe you have a wounded ear. Maybe you've heard things, or maybe you even entertain certain thoughts about yourself that are unlovely. Okay, so let's clear out the ear channel, because our auricles, auricles, have to do with our energy. They're connected to our kidneys. Our eyes are connected to our adrenals. So these are things that can drain you or cause you to pull the plug on something and make it drain out when it was hot, steamy, and ready and divine right on time. But taking things the wrong way and creating this chaos of flow. And so that's just like a little overview. And Fuchsite, it's like, okay, so how do we put a foot in the tater salad? How do we put our finger on this? What are we exactly wanting to put our finger on? Let's go ahead and dive in these for Gemini to get a clear meaning of what do we put our finger on. Today, beginning to believe life is favoring you, lightening up on you, because behind it is the hard as F times, that the hard as F times are behind you. And Fuchsite is pointing directly at that. Okay, Fuchsite is something that helps you see in the underground world. All right, so let's get into the little magic deck here. This keeps showing in your pre-shuffle. Grand ideas. What had your world turned upside down? You're like love and celebration, believing that I'm worthy of this, or that I'm deserving of this, because it doesn't feel like it. You've had stuff fug-mugging around your mind for quite some time, keeping yourself on edge, maybe walking on eggshells, maybe expecting people to live up to your standards. And that's difficult, because remember what we found out here? You weren't living up to your standards. And not just standards of your due. What I say is the thoughts that you were entertaining, they begin to cloud your energy and mess with your mind. And then you're going to be that rough on yourself and want to invite somebody else in. You guys, again, like, put your finger on it. That is what has been creating these hard times. So citrine is here to say, lighten up. And they keep having me put it over the hand of Fatima. The blessings coming for it. It's like, lighten up. Lighten your mood. Lighten your load. Lighten and brighten your day. Some of you may choose for a bit of time, especially why the time has changed, to go to bed earlier and rise earlier, to get a little bit more in sync with the sun and the sunshine and its rising and its abundance. Because what's wild is if you rise in the early morning hours, if there were like freebies out there and only those who rise early would know it, I mean, there's plenty for the taking and plenty for the receiving, the imbibing, and the gifting, the refreshing, the nourishing, and the nurturing of yourself. Here you are again on the bottom. We just go put that under the citrus. There you are again. Oh. Okay, tell us about this hard as F times, filtering through this, preparing for the divine Pushite. What is it that we need to see to move us forward? I see the road, to ease on down the road. Ooh. Maybe a bit of Sagittarius, some going out, exploring, playing, maybe exploring new mindsets, trying on new mental hats of like when it comes, begin to dialogue with yourself, not just let the wicked witch step forward, the maniacal mind going, I know this is going to turn out. It's going to turn out like the Three of Swords. It's going to turn out where I get left behind and I'm left holding the goods that now were meant for two and I have to bear the full weight, burden, and the payment of them. Like karmic creation. And there's that block going on there saying, listen softly to what you are entertaining in your mind. Two different worlds in two different realms. Okay, so temperance. I'm going to put temperance under the clear calcite. We're going to go into the darkness. Ooh, what is offering itself right there? Ace of Wands. Dragonflies. So dragonflies have, we will call it 30,000 eyes. They have 30,000 perspectives, and they're telling you to ditch the eyes. Don't go with your mind. Go with your heart. That is the delta phase going on here. That is the thing that brings you to rest and brings you ease. And that's why they're also talking about going to bed a little bit earlier. That you don't have to just go straight to sleep, but it's that stretching yourself out, getting in a state, a physical state of relaxation helps facilitate this. And they're saying you need to hear that again. Clear calcite, because clear calcite is so common, and it's one of those things that makes it easy for us in life that we would think is like, oh, that's so beneath me, that has no worth, that has no value. And temperance is here to say it really does. It really does. What that rest does to your body, it diminishes the distress. Okay, that's what Dragonfly Spirit is here to say. And that is what begins to pollinate your energy with possibility, with looking up. Ooh, I love that. That's the powerful change coming on in here. This is your bright and shiny eye, waking up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And it knocked this forward. It went boom, right on top of the Ace of Wands. And that's the best way to kick off this new year, this new idea, this new self. When does the new year begin? Any day you decide to start fresh and new. All right. So I'm going to get a little bit on the Five of Wands and that little whisper. Okay. This is what dislodged it all. The Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Keeping the goods to yourself. All right. So you're talking about a relationship. You're talking about getting to it today. Well, it's having a sharing and caring nature. That doesn't mean you have to give everything up, but it's also don't like cover and protect it as with the, they're talking about the old mind, the stagnant, the crusty stuff that is built up. It's kind of like the mold that's grown on top of the cheese, and thinking that, you know, people have done that to you when really it's just time. It's time that's caused that to accumulate, and they're needing you to, like, these have been stuck down inside of you and they're wanting to move it up to warm your heart. So let's get a little Pitman on this. King of Love, warming your heart, your staff, your rod. So it's not just, ooh, Scorpionic. So apparently is the things you need to hear and the temperance that's going on over here, because we had radar love, some red hot love coming on in, and it's only been going down and not just up. It's like you've been experiencing one side of the passion coin or the other, but that's what's invalidated it. It takes both sides of the coin in order for it to be valid and to spin. Both sides of the dollar bill have to be there for it to not be counterfeit. So you're looking for this true love, the one who loves you even when times are difficult or hard. Now remember, these hard as F times is keeping it to yourself, has been putting you at an advantage, and that's not balance. That's not a relationship. We had the Temperance card coming on over here talking about the triangle, the balance, that as they prop together, because there's something in you that rightfully does away with detachment, attachment, that type of thing, but it's the coming together. But it says, how can we come together if we don't know? Okay. So afford this person or these people that you're engaging with the opportunity to support you, to come on in, to provide that bit of assurance and reassurance. See the hand holding, that we're in this together, that I love and support you, that no, I'm not you and I'm not going to dominate you or do things like you, but I'm here to offer that divine love because it's showing high heart. That's someone who is in prayer for you or meditation for you, or they hold you fondly in their heart. Will you let them hold you fondly in their heart? Will you hold them fondly and the relationship fondly in your heart and yourself fondly in your heart? You might check out Taurus because Taurus was having that struggle about how they view themselves, okay? So let's get a little bit more and then we'll wrap it up. But you had some very specific things you were wanting to discuss here with the Temperance, with the 14, with being able to empower yourself and take it into your hand to afford yourself this change. So we have 8 of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles coming in. Interesting. You're moving in the right direction and it's moving forward quickly because so much of this has already occurred. It's almost like this is the last thing that you need to hear it. That's why the clear calcite was coming in, to clear this up and to affirm something that maybe you were already sensing in your heart, okay? And seeing it before you, and you've been toying with the idea, wanting to know how this would actually work out for you, and feeling like if you did, you might be sacrificing all the desires and dreams you've been waiting on for this love. And you're like, I don't know if I want to risk it all for that. But there is no risk. The risk is what you're doing right now, what you're taking, standing between two worlds, holding out on yourself, letting maniacal mind come towards you and make its way into your ear like it's offering you help and solutions. And it's like that's only been driving it one way, down or up, connecting here, and you want both. And they're talking about be on the same page with yourself. Be on the same page with yourself. When you unite with yourself in love, you begin to offer yourself the benefit of being honest with yourself, being whole with yourself, being real with yourself, and not the demanding or the solving or the performance-based, okay? Letting this genuine love come on in and look at it so that you can taste the rainbow. That's 8 of Pentacles, y'all. This is that beautiful life coming on in, and it's coming in with the air and the essence of Capricorn. So you might check out their reading, whether it's the love one or the secrets one, because I see that we're moving in a certain direction with all of this, is what I'm getting the hint and the inkling of. But it's that inheritance. It's like that soul's right inheritance to what? Have pleasure, to have fortune in this world, to feel favored by life, loved by life, and loved on by life. Not just the belly flicks, you know, like the cat that lures you in. It's like, oh, rub my belly. And you're like, I know how this goes. Let me go touch your belly because it seems so inviting. And then they rabbit flick you and you're like, I'm so tired. I'm tired of being hurt. But that's not what's really going on here, okay? It's talking about like there are 3 sides to every story. And that type of nature, they're like is a bit of you drawing it in and then resisting it, drawing it in and then resisting it. So this has been an experience that has been personal inside of you as well, but you didn't have that insight or that knowledge because remember the Medusa mind was sitting on it, that competition of feeling like it's either them or me. So that's what's clearing out. That's why the divine love is coming on in. That's why the surrender to the divine, where it all becomes one. You're not having to see it with these many eyes. You begin to feel it with your heart. When you feel it with your heart, you see it right in front of you and you're able to imbibe in it, touch it, taste it, feel it, smell it. You're like, no more bombs going off and getting hurt by love. It's the beginning to have the chemistry and the connection that makes things beautiful, that prospers, that moves forward, that puts you at ease. That's what this tie is showing up at, that brings it all together. the composition of who you are, that you're dressed for success. Success here, you've dressed your mind, you've addressed these issues and these divisions going on, that who knows where they came from. All that matters is that you take that breath, you cleanse and clear it out, and you give yourself permission to thrive, to love and be loved, okay? And then we also have this just going away, like the painting yourself in a corner. But I see you sweeping it away, sweeping away the old debris, the old ways of being played against yourself. That there was like a bigger hand going on here, which is why divinity stepped in. It said, we'll do away with that. When you know that you've committed to yourself and to your truth and to trust, those maniacal minds, those type of suggestions and whatever else can't come on in, because you're like, no, that's what's been blowing me up. I'm ready to begin to be intelligent. I'm ready to understand how things work together, including myself, my dynamics. And they're wanting to touch on what fell under the moons. The Five of Spades. It's funny because you often hear it in a lot of love readings. This person that's coming might not look like your usual type. All I'm saying is this person might not look just like you. Maybe they're a little bit more logic-minded, a little more scientific-minded. Maybe they've been through the pencil sharpener for a minute, and there's a little bit of fleshing out to do. They might look a little rough around the edges, but life is saying, you know what, you can try it out. Take a little chance. That doesn't mean throw yourself all the way in. That means give yourself safe space to begin to engage with this and witness with a true eye, without that mind coming at you, without jumping to conclusions, without filling in the blank of knowing how this is going to go based on past experiences, but just being clear, being genuine, and trusting your instincts, friend. I'm excited for you, Gemini. Hey, if you like this, you could like, share, and subscribe. You could also comment or compliment down below. Any of these help us rise to the top here at this channel. And as a vote for you, a vote for me, a vote for the joy in our world. You could also stop back by and check out any of the videos, because we are the whole zodiac. Trust your soul, trust your spirit, trust yourself. I'm looking forward to you thriving, Gemini. This is that last little bit, because all the glory, the lottery, these prosperities are coming in for you, okay? So much is here for you. I love you. All right. Bye.